The thingy. Hey there. I feel awful. I feel okay. Literally recovering from being sick. Sick again. Just sick again. It's cool. It's not like it's December. It's not like I got so many videos to be doing. Whatever. Hey, it hurts to swallow, and I'm Arlo. Hope you're having a good day. Also, minor viral conjunctivitis. The Game Awards were last night, and so I'd like to do the same thing I did with Summer Game Fest. I did just like a rapid fire takes on just a whole bunch of different game trailers. And last night there were lots and lots and lots of reveals and trailers and stuff. So I'm gonna do it again. Just give like a little brief just thoughts on each one. I'm not gonna have like super interesting stuff to say about each one, but you know, whatever, who cares? I'm sick and I make the rules around here. And then at the end, I will go over my general thoughts about the Game Awards themselves, because why not? Let's get started. Dead Cells Castlevania DLC. I've not played Dead Cells, but I hear it's very, very good, and the idea of it crossing over with something like some big major IP like Castlevania, that's incredibly cool. The little cartoon thing was really cute. Cartoon thing. My brain is not working right now. No, it was really cute, and it was really funny. There you go. Then they announced a new Hellboy game, and it's apparently coming to everything, including the Switch, so that's pretty cool. You know, I'm not a Hellboy fan, but the style seems to be very, very faithful to the comics. You know, the look of Hellboy himself, and, you know, obviously it's very dark, lots of blacks and stuff. Pretty cool. Horizon Call of the Mountain. This is the Horizon VR game coming to PlayStation VR 2. Still haven't played a Horizon game, but they look incredibly cool all the time. Every time I see a trailer for anything, amazing. And now it's VR, so you're getting this like AAA VR experience with these crazy, huge robot animals and stuff. But it looks like they're actually there. That's really cool. I actually cannot wait to play that. I mean, I should probably play the actual games first, but like, yeah, if I end up getting a PS5 next year with PSVR 2, then like, yeah, I'm really excited. Post-Trauma, the trailer really did not give a lot of information about this one, but it's clear that it's very heavily inspired by classic horror games, mainly the original Resident Evils. You know, it even shows like using a tape to save, so that's a very big, heavy wink there. And apparently it uses fixed camera angles like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. So like, I don't know, that's pretty cool. It's a weird system, and it was weird back in the day, and it's still a little bit weird. So I'm curious to see if anyone can, I don't know, just make it work better, because it is a very cool, very cinematic style. I just want that to mesh with the gameplay, you know? I also really appreciate any game with an older protagonist. We just don't get that a lot. Viewfinder. This was such a pleasant surprise, because like that tweet, it was like years ago. The tweet, it was like a game dev showing off a cool thing with a photo, and it turns into real life. Apparently that tweet got someone with money's attention, because apparently they turned it into a full game. And they even include the tweet in the trailer, like in the gameplay. That's so cute. I really love that. And it's a great way to remind the audience that this is that. And, you know, I love this kind of the weird perspective, mind-bending puzzle games. They're always a good time, and this one looks very excellent. Among Us Hide and Seek. I don't play Among Us, but a new Among Us mode, that's a pretty big deal. You scary monster, you're running around. It looks funny. It looks cool. There you go. After Us. This one looked really cool. This really came out of left field. I've never heard of anything about this. You play as like this little pixie girl, a fairy or something like that, some weird little person, and you're in this like big seemingly post-apocalypse world, and there's all sorts of scary people and stuff, and you're just going around these old wrecked industrial sites, and then something where you're working with like animal ghosts or something. I really don't know, but like it looks super cool. Obviously the visuals and the style and everything, but then it's like it kind of just looks like a 3D platformer, you know, just jumping around and flying all over the place. Really definitely got my conjunctivized eye on that one. It's minor, just a little. It's just a little. It's nothing to worry about. No discomfort. Next. Ooh. Replaced. Okay. technically, I don't know if I'm gonna end up playing this one. The theme, the whole like dystopian future, bring down the government kind of theme, I don't like games like that. It's just, it hits a little too close to home of like actual anxieties that I have, you know what I mean? It's just a little too like, it's a little too grim. However, oh my gosh, this might be the singular best blending of pixel graphics and 3D graphics that I have ever seen in a game. It is mind-blowing what they are achieving here. The pixel art itself, the way that it's animated, and just like the camera work and the lighting really is just such a big part of it. Like, they clearly spent so much time just refining this, just polishing it till it shined like a diamond. Yeah, mind-blowing. It looks mind-blowing. Street Fighter 6, I'm not a fighting games guy. I'm not a Street Fighter guy. As I will always say about this game, I think it's at least cool that it's got like a world to kind of explore and do stuff and mini games, and that's neat. If there's like more of a story or something, like that's cool, but you know, not really my thing. Hades 2, this is cool. I didn't play Hades. I didn't play a lot of games, as you can tell. I'm not an authority on anything. If you're listening to this, it's just because you like to listen to me talk, so just get that out of the way. Point is though, Hades 2, I'm really happy for them. They had, you know, Supergiant, they're really great. They had a really, really big hit in 2020 with Hades. I love to see that they were just like, all right, let's jump right into the sequel, you know? Give the audience what they want, continue the story that they want to tell. You know, since I didn't play Hades, the trailer just looks like more Hades to me. I'm sure there's a lot more significance to someone who's played it, but like, yeah, I don't know, looks cool. It's a sequel to Hades that's already coming. That's awesome. Judas, this one is interesting. Gameplay-wise, really no idea. Really don't know. But this is by Ken Levine, who made BioShock and a number of other things. And so like you can see the BioShock style here. It's pretty much like the weird like Raider people with all the funny masks and stuff in BioShock. It's like that, but a whole game. It's just run with that idea for a whole thing. Everyone's got a weird mask or a helmet. There's some people, are they robot people, or are they just, I don't really know. It looks very wacky and weird, and I have no doubt that it will be a very interesting narrative experience. Could use some work in the animation department, though. I mean, I get that the game probably has a ton of animation, and they can't just, like, mocap everything, but, like, it's a little bit awkward, a little stiff, but, whatever. Okay, so did you expect Nintendo to reveal a brand new game at the Game Awards? You never know what they're gonna announce, but apparently, technically, I mean, it's a, you know, second party game, but of all things, a new Bayonetta. This is like a prequel spin-off kind of thing. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. It's her as a kid in like a forest. It's kind of a fairy tale thing. I'm not into Bayonetta, and the gameplay, it doesn't wow me. There's definitely, that is kind of, I mean, like, it might be a cool game. It's a little unfortunate that the trailer doesn't really do much to really grab you. It's just kind of like, okay, yeah, there's some combat in there. But that's cool though, like, what a surprise. Just, okay, Bayonetta Origins spin-off randomly announced at the Game Awards. Okay. Then there was a trailer for Destiny 2, Lightfall. I don't play Destiny. I always try to say something about each thing, though. The thing I'll say about this is, I don't know, the visuals are cool. It's very spacey. Yeah, I don't know. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Again, I'm not into those games, DC and all that. Animation's really nice. Performances look really good. And it's really nice. They had a little tribute to Kevin Conroy at the end, and they confirmed that he would be playing Batman in the game, his final role, so that's pretty cool. Then we saw gameplay for Jedi Survivor. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I did hear really good things about the previous one, though, and a lot of people say it's kind of Souls-likey, so I've always kind of maybe should I try it out? I don't know, but apparently this was the gameplay reveal of the sequel, Jedi Survivor. And, yeah, I don't know, to my, you know, uninitiated eyes, it just looked like a Jedi game, but apparently everyone is freaking out about how cool it looks, so yeah, there you go. Ooh, the Celeste devs have revealed their next game, and that is exciting. It is called Earthblade, and it's 2024. Ooh, that's a long time to wait. At least they're honest, though. It's better than a delay. I'd rather just be honest right up front. Tell me it's not coming for a couple years. No, I mean, like, obviously, Celeste is indie masterpiece, an absolute gem, so exquisitely designed. Like the level design and the movement physics and everything, so good. So we don't have a lot confirmed, but like the devs themselves call this an, was it exploration? Yeah, exploration game. And the way that the camera moves around between these areas, it seems like, I don't know about full Metroidvania, but it definitely seems like a more just like open exploration heavy thing rather than like a, you know, a more linear series of levels. And that is really exciting. I love Celeste, even though I don't usually like just pretty, you know, I don't want to say basic, but you know, it's a 2D platformer. Like that's what it is. So the idea of that amazing design and controls and everything, but in a more exploration heavy game. And it's like this post-apocalypse Earth or something, and you're piecing together the story. Cool fantasy stuff. I am very excited. Then we had a trailer for Dune Awakening, which I guess is an MMO based on Dune. I don't know much about Dune. The trailer does not show much. I think it's probably one of those things where like, if you know Dune, you're like, oh, it's that, oh, it's that. But to me, it just kind of looked like a kind of boring cinematic trailer, so I don't know, sorry. Then Death Stranding 2, or like just DS2, is that a thing? It's not really Death Stranding 2, it's, I don't know, I don't care, but, you know, I didn't play Death Stranding, but the cinematics look really good, graphics look incredible. I don't know how much, I mean, I kind of want to play Death Stranding, I want to try it one of these days. This one, I don't do baby danger, I don't do like kids in peril in my meat, it's just too much. So I don't know if that's going to be like a part of this is like trying to save your baby all the time. If so, not really into it. Immortals of Avium. I just don't I say this a lot, but like just a cinematic trailer. If you like, you got to bring something to the table. Something in that cinematic trailer has to really wow us, or like you got to just show us the gameplay. Otherwise, if it's not an established IP, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I just see a bunch of stuff happening, and that's basically what this was. I mean, like, apparently it comes from a studio with a lot of credentials, but I don't know. It was just kind of like stuff happens and then it ends, so I guess we gotta wait to see more on that one. Tekken 8, I don't know anything about the Tekken story, but I really like that, you know, there's a lot of fighting games out there that it's just a fighting game and that's it. Not really much of a story, and that's fine. That's cool what they do. But I like that this has like a lot of, I don't know, like dialogue and cool areas, seems to really have a very strong kind of story kind of thing going. So that's really cool. Trailer's fun. Nightingale. This is actually on my list of some of my most anticipated games of next year, just because the trailer from Summer Game Fest just looks so cool. It's just a cool idea. I am really disappointed that here we got another like 98% cinematic trailer. I know what the game's about. I get it. It's got a bunch of cool, weird stuff. I don't want to have all that stuff spoiled. I want to see the gameplay. I want to see like how it works. And I don't know, that stuff will come down the road. But I don't know. So it was nice to see it again, but kind of not, because it's like, okay, but that didn't really help me. Baldur's Gate 3. It's a really cool trailer. I don't usually do like high fantasy stuff. It all feels a little samey to me. But this just seems like a very high quality game, you know? I don't know, just everything about the trailer is just like, yeah, visuals are nice, the style is nice, got some cool, that mimic creature in there is really cool, dialogue looks good, looks well acted, just looks like a solid game. I've got that one on my keep an eye on it list now. Wayfinder, this is kind of negative. I didn't realize how many of this is just going to be like, I don't care about this, but really sorry, whatever. This kind of like style of like fantasy, where it's like fantasy, but it's really colorful with like, I don't know if it's like, did WoW start it? Maybe, I don't really know, but like it's really become very, very common these days. Just this like colorful, like no real edge to it, no real bite. It's a very like safe kind of fantasy cartoony thing. Do not like it. I'm so sick of it. All of them look identical. This game looks like 100,000 other games that I've seen. Sorry, Wayfinder. So we got to reveal another Nintendo-related reveal. What? They talked about the expansion pass for Fire Emblem Engage. This poor game. I really wish I were into it. I feel like I should be. I loved Three Houses, and I wanted that to kind of make me into a Fire Emblem fan. This, I don't know, maybe I spent so much time on Three Houses that I just need a little more time. It just doesn't excite me. Something about the characters and the style and these like big flowery attack moves, I don't really like it. I want a kind of more grounded fantasy setting. This looks, it's just a little too wacky for me, and I really am just not interested in playing it, and that's really sad. Expansion pass looks cool though. You get the 3 houses characters. That's fun. Diablo 4 cinematic trailer. That one, see, that one's not bad though, because it's a pre-established thing. People know what the gameplay is going to be like. They get the story. This has significance. It's a pretty cool trailer. It's a fun, like, fantasy war thing, but it's also Activision Blizzard, so blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to support it, blah, 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 blah. Then we got another Horizon thing, Horizon 2 Forbidden West. They revealed the DLC, Burning Shores. Apparently it takes place in far future LA, which is pretty cute. One gripe, the Hollywood sign would not be standing that far in the future. Entire skyscrapers are falling down. The Hollywood sign is not going to be there. Point is though, looks terrific as always. Like I said, every Horizon thing is just a bunch of cool graphics and big dinosaurs stuff. So like, there you go. Looks really neat. I like that it takes place on the beach. I love the colorful logo. Gives it, I don't know, just like a vibrant, colorful kind of feel. Then we had Blue Protocol. I got nothing to say. I don't know. It's fine. I'm sorry. But I gotta say something colorful. You can always just say colorful. It's usually always true. Remnant 2. I don't know what Remnant 1 is. I don't know if I've heard of it before. But that's a heck of a trailer right there. It shows a person, like, they've got a gun, but, like, they're fighting these really big... I just love big, scary monsters. I just love, like, creative monster designs. I'm so into that. And this trailer showed me a lot of that. You're fighting a bunch of weird, cool, scary monsters. And I'm like, okay, that looks pretty cool. Transformers Reactivate. It's just a cinematic trailer. All I'll say is don't give the nerdy hacker guy glasses. Like, just don't, you know? Like, this isn't the 90s anymore. Can we just, like, I don't want to see... You know, he's like, okay, I'm in. And he's got glasses. I just don't want it anymore. I'm sorry. You might as well give him a big soda to be sipping off of. Then, this is not a game, but we got a clip of the Mario movie, which is cool. I mean, you know, it's a short little clip, mostly just kind of showing off, like, I don't know if it's called Toad Town in the movie or whatever, but just kind of showing that, and it was nice. It was a nice little thing. I mean, there's so many references in this darn movie. Even just this, like, tiny little clip. You could just pull it apart. Just 100,000 little references to just Mario and Nintendo history. It's kind of amazing. Here's an interesting one. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. Apparently this is from the creators of Life is Strange, but obviously really takes things in a very new direction. It looks like it might still be very story focused because the whole entire trailer, like most of it is just like people talking to each other. But then right at the end, it kind of looks like it goes into combat. So like, I don't know, but it's this like fantasy world. There's something, you're a banisher, I guess, and you banish ghosts, I suppose, is a thing about ghosts. I don't know, but I'm pretty darn interested. That looks really cool. I don't know much about it, but like, I don't know. You got me. Your trailer got me. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good trailer. You hooked me. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. I'm so unfamiliar with Warhammer 40K. It's really weird. I don't know anybody who plays these games. I don't know. I mean, like the tabletop I know is a really popular thing, but the games, I don't know. I never hear it talked about. And yet they make these games, so yeah, someone must be buying them. Looks cool. I don't know, just looks like really good graphics, really cool. Looks cool. Meet Your Maker, definitely not my kind of game, but it looks interesting. Apparently, it looks like, you know, keeps talking about, you know, you're making, it's like a maker, and then you build stuff, and then you have runs, and it's like attempt 4, attempt 5. So I don't know, you're just like building these little gauntlets, building these levels for people, and, you know, I don't know, seems kind of just arcadey and fun. It's a cool idea. Crash Team Rumble. It's a new Crash game, but I guess we got Monkey Pod because it's a multiplayer game. I mean, plenty of people are gonna enjoy this. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm not really interested. But I don't know. Looks kind of cool. It's got all the Crash characters. They're all fighting. It's cute. Lords of the Fallen. This is definitely in the upper levels of me having my gunky eyes on it. I gotta stop. I'm sorry. Stop mentioning that. It's really not. It's mostly watery. It's really not a big deal. It's not that gross. Lords of the Fallen. Apparently. Like, I mean, that name was familiar, so I looked it up. Apparently, they did Lords of the Fallen in 2014, and this is like a reboot because it didn't perform that well, but it's also set in the future of the game world, so it's kind of a sequel that just has the same name, That's really confusing, but I hear it's a Souls-like, so there you go. I mean, even before I knew that, like, just this is an example of a cinematic trailer that does grab me, because weird creatures and characters and just weird, scary monsters. The environment is really, really cool, very evocative. I just love that dark fantasy. Everything is bones, and I love it. And I don't know, it looks really cool. I'm really, really excited to see more about this one. Then we had Crime Boss Rocky City. I really could not be less interested in this. It seems like I don't know if it's going to be like a GTA kind of thing, but I mean, you know, there's an audience for it. It's a very, like, silly, very character-driven. All the characters are played by, like, you know, pretty notable actors, such as Vanilla Ice. You know, you got Chuck Norris in there. Oh, just, yeah, it looks very silly. It's not my thing. Cyberpunk 2077, they showed off the hotly anticipated Phantom Liberty expansion coming. Yeah, as I usually will say with this game, the whole thing surrounding it, even if it's a good game now, it left a really bad taste in my mouth. I lost pretty much all respect for CD Projekt Red, so, Then we got a big one. Quite a long time now, there have been rumors going around about FromSoft doing a new Armored Core. Seemed pretty inevitable. And here it is, they are. Apparently the last one was in like 2013 or 14 or something. And I've never played the game. I played like demos on the PS1. I don't think that really counts as being an Armored Core fan. So I don't actually know if this is a kind of game that I am gonna like. At first I was wondering, like, cause like since they made the last Armored Core, they've really cemented themselves as having a very particular style. So I didn't know if they were gonna bring some of that to the series. But now seeing that this is a straight sequel and not like a reboot or something makes me think it's probably going to be a lot more faithful to the way that they were, which is good, which is great for the fans. I don't know if I'll end up liking it or not, but they're a great studio, so I'm sure it'll be great. You know, trailer was cool. Just got some cool elements. They're always great at designing. You know, there's no, you know, quote unquote creatures in this one, but all the robots look really cool. Big environment. It's gonna be cool. I really do want to see more. And finally, Final Fantasy 16 got a new trailer with a release date. That's awesome to finally have a release date. I feel like this thing has been coming for about a million years. The game still looks really cool. I don't think I'm really into it. Every time I see a trailer for it, it looks neat, but I feel like there's so little about it that gives Final Fantasy vibes at all. It really just looks like a fantasy game. Looks like a cool fantasy game, but it feels like a fantasy game that anybody could have made. So I don't know. It's just lacking some little spark of something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I don't know. Looks really cool though. So that's it for the games. Yeah, I'll just touch on the show itself. Entertaining as always. As far as the awards go, I mean, like, Nintendo doesn't usually, I'm surprised I didn't see more people talking about it, probably because no one really actually cares that much about the nominees or whatever. Point is, though, Nintendo had a lot of nominees. There are some years that go by, Nintendo is barely mentioned, ever. They'll get, like, one thing in the family category, and that's it. But, like, they had a ton of nominees this year. Kirby won Best Family Game, which is cool. They were pretty, like, almost all Nintendo games on there, but I was rooting for Kirby. Awesome. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope won Best Sim Strategy Game. Splatoon 3 won multiplayer. That is surprising. These events are dominated by these giant esports multiplayer giants, and I don't, for some reason, Splatoon 3 won. Yeah, I don't know, but sure, yeah. Tears of the Kingdom won Most Anticipated Game. Awesome, yes. And then this is incredible. Bayonetta 3 won Best Action Game. I mean, like, sure, all of the other, you know, titles on there were just up for a million other awards and stuff too. I don't know if this was just them throwing Nintendo a bone or something, but like, Best Action Game. Anything can be an action game. But for some reason, Bayonetta 3 won. And that's just another win for Nintendo. They've never won this much. And then Nintendo was poised to take the Best RPG award because every single title was a Switch game except Elden Ring. And Elden Ring won. I feel like it's, even though I root for Elden Ring, it won Game of the Year. I was rooting for it to win Game of the Year. It's my Game of the Year. That's awesome. For best RPG, though, it is technically an RPG, but I would have to give it to a different game that's like really mainly an RPG. Whatever, we can talk about this all day. Then some other personal highlights real quick. The Verizon guy, I don't know who that was. I really dearly hope that the woman sitting next to him did not know him, because if that's the case, then she is amazing and really, really funny, and I enjoyed the thingy that she did. It was funny. If she knows him, it's not as funny, because then she's poking fun, but if she's just like the person sitting next to him and she's just like, oh my gosh, really? The Verizon Games guy? It's just too funny. Al Pacino and Christopher Judge eating up about 79 minutes of screen time was just an incredible experience. Bear McCreary just jamming out on whatever the heck instrument that is. I've never seen anything like that before, but he's just jamming out, snow falling around him, twisting that little doodle thing, and it was very, oh gosh. This is why you watch the Game Awards. This is good stuff. Someone had a whole joke about how there's a murderer in the room, and the camera pointed to different people. One was Kyle Bossman, very funny, and then Reggie, of course, that's hilarious. It's Reggie. I don't know why we pretty much always get Muppet representation at the show. I don't know. I think Jeff Keighley just genuinely likes the Muppets. I think that's literally all it is. It's just because he can. I do the same thing. Obviously, this time we had Animal, and when asked what game he wanted to win, he said Elden Ring, which makes all the sense in the world, and then he's like, oh, who's your favorite? I knew he was gonna say Millennia. He did, I called it, I knew it. So that was very funny. And then when they announced the Crash game, I was very pleased to see Crash in the classic 90s full Crash suit. That was great until he started talking and said a lot of things that were not funny in the slightest. I'm really sorry to whoever wrote that bit. It was very uncomfortable. Similarly, very few things in this world make me feel more like less of an imposter, imposter syndrome. I feel great when I see professionals doing a bad job. I know it sounds a little mean, but I really mean it. We're all just people. No one really knows what they're doing. And seeing a famous, humongously famous Keegan-Michael Key, just famous comedian, so successful, has done so many amazing, funny things. Seeing someone like that get up on stage and just fully deliver, no hesitation, a bit that was clearly written that morning and he's clearly outside of his wheelhouse, just doesn't know what to make a joke about, and it falling so flat, but he's still delivering the heck out of it. That just makes me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, we're all just trying to get by. You know? You know what I'm saying? Makes me feel okay about all of the awful jokes I put into these videos. Those rare, very rare, awful jokes of mine. So rare. Almost never, but sometimes. Then the big musical number at the end, we had the flautist just going nuts. He had multiple flutes. Every time the camera cut to him, a different flute. He's jamming out on. It was incredible. I didn't even know what some of those were. And then, of course, the kid. The kid gets up on stage. Nobody notices. I'm not going to talk about, like, what he's had a bunch of... it's not even worth talking about. Point is, though, apparently, at any point, anytime, anybody could have just walked up on stage with the winners and just pretended to be part of the team. Just pretend. Be like just sitting there with them, just letting them give their speech. And no one would stop them because nobody even understands what's happening. But I'm sure now, because of this, every single person who's nominated for anything, security is going to be asking them how many people will be going up on stage with you. We will count the number and make sure it does not happen again. So, as I've said before, I'm a big fan of the Game Awards. Yes, they can feel a little bloated, they can get a little boring, it's very awkward, it's very corporate, of course it is, but it's still just fun seeing all the game reveals. And you know what? This year brought an absurd number of reveals. Like, really absolutely absurd. For a 3-hour block, just like Hades 2, Death Stranding, just, I don't know, it's not even worth listing them all, but like, an absolute ton. That was like an entire E3 across all of the different companies, except for Nintendo. Well, no, yeah, except for Nintendo. They would have had something bigger. But it's like everybody all condensed into one show. There's a ton of announcements. And I thought it was really fun. Let me know what you think about the Game Awards 2022 down in the comments. And in the meantime, I have to stop talking. My throat hurts. I also need to go wipe my eyes. I'll see you later.